So let's talk about some weed because we talked about it a lot last week, and I think that there's been some updates you guys would know for sure. SB3, Dan Patrick, there's definitely an update because Dan Patrick went in. Dan Patrick's the lieutenant governor. You call him Light Gov Light? Is that something that people call him?
Lieutenant Governor? They call him lots of things. Lieutenant Dan, Light Gov. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it that funny?
I guess if there's, I'm talking about any lieutenant governor. Do they call them governor light gov or whatever?
I think they just call him lieutenant governor. I mean, some people say light gov. I only see Scott Braddock say that on Twitter, but
it's like Veep.
Yeah.
So here is a video that the lieutenant governor Dan Patrick shared. He is on a tear against THC as well as lottery ticket couriers. That would be jackpockets.com, owned by DraftKings. They buy you pay them money and they go buy the tickets for you, and it's all done through your phone. And sometimes, they buy 20 million tickets or whatever. One of their people is going to win, and Governor Patrick thinks that that's weird and that shouldn't be allowed. I don't get it, but now he's doing the same thing with a THC vape shop. So let's watch just a little bit of this video. I think it's interesting. This is a Texas Public Schools and hemp locations map. This is not good information. This is just, should they be close to schools? Okay, fine. That's a fine regulation. Don't put them within a mile of a school or whatever the hell is. But this map is unreadable and doesn't really show us anything except for there's a lot of fucking THC shops.
Recently, I visited several of these smoke shops.
Here's a smoke shop. There's also a massage parlor there. I'm kind of wondering, maybe was the smoke shop the second place he went to? Maybe.
To see what they're selling. All said they weren't selling to kids, but a lot of other people have a different opinion.
The city right now are trying to fight it because I think of the same reason you brought up. Because some kids just go buy things. And
some kids go buy things. He gets gummies.
So I always recommend people just take half a gummy and then see how it does.
This issue,
I think this guy is on a gummy when he's talking. And
how would I know what's strong and not strong?
He points out that some of them have really high amounts of THC in them, blah, 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 blah. So he's on a tear. He's just really, really wanting to ban all this stuff. Now, I don't know if there's anything beyond that, but we talked about it last week. So I thought we should probably talk about it a little bit. Do you guys think it's going to pass? What's going to happen here?
Well, the update is, as I said on the show, that Chairman of House State Affairs, which will hear this bill, Ken King, filed the House version of the bill. It's a little bit different. It's basically bans everything except for drinkable. Is that the right word? THC. So things sold in liquor stores such as specs. So yeah. So what happened was the big lobby got to Chairman King. He made a carve out to allow specs, who the guys mentioned last week want to double down on the THC drinks at their stores, allow them to continue to sell, and everybody else is out of business.
And that's weird though. I mean, it is a little bit, not weird in the sense, I understand how that happened. A lobbyist went and talked to a fucking, commissioner, chairman, whatever, representative, the person that's, controlling this whole game. And now there's a carve out for them. I understand that part. That's not weird. What I'm saying is weird is maybe there's going to be regulations about how much THC can be in the drink. I've seen these drinkables before. Usually it's 5 milligrams. Okay. But I can easily drink 6 club sodas. I could drink 6 Waterloos, 6 LaCroix pretty easily. Right. And if they all of a sudden have 10 milligrams of THC in them, I would get really fucked up. And kids could easily drink that. I put a THC can in my fridge. My kids would they would see that and think, oh, cool, bubble water. I'm going to drink that. It sounds like
that's the stupid thing about this, because they're talking about we don't want kids to be able to get it, blah, blah, blah. Well, what looks mostly like a kid's drink, these THC drinks, bright colors, happy faces, all this stuff on them. They're going to grab that. And it's just stupid. If you are actually that concerned about it, then ban it all. Why make an exemption especially when it's something that, like, I think it's less like, I don't know what kids today are doing, but I feel like it's less likely that they're going to go into, young kids are going to go into a THC shop. I think it's more likely that they will get someone or get other people to go into a liquor store and buy them these drinks. Like, I feel like that's more likely.
Getting people to go into a liquor store for them and buy. I've never heard of that. That doesn't happen. What are you talking about?
Never. I feel like that's more common than kids trying to get it in these stores. Like, maybe, but like, I think it's stupid. And clearly
there's more homeless people than ever. Kids are going to have easy access to liquor stores.
I know. I agree. I'm that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
I'm backing you up, bud. All right.
Well, on the flip side of that argument, I think that the liquor stores would say, well, you have to be 21 to come in here. Whereas these convenience stores, a kid can just walk into a convenience store and buy a whatever. So at least they have some regulation about who can come in the stores, who can't, who could buy stuff, who can't. They're obviously checking ID or supposed to be at a liquor store. But the lieutenant governor had basically the same response you guys just had, which was like, no, we're not carving out liquor stores. And so I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit of an irreconcilable difference because the House member who filed this, I mean, he didn't just put this carve out in there and it's just going to be like, oh, never mind. No carve out. Let's do everything. And it doesn't sound like Lieutenant Governor, who was threatening special sessions in his press conference yesterday, is going to fold on the liquor sales. So they're at a little bit of an impasse.
Can Dan Patrick call a special session?
No.
So how would he threat? Who cares about his threat?
He would try to convince Governor Abbott to call a special session on it.
Sure. Do Dan Patrick and Governor Abbott have a good working relationship?
Yes.
I don't know. I guess, right? Weren't they at odds on some of the primaries?
I mean, yeah, but that's not really, like, that's just during primary season.
Yeah, but I mean, they were trying to primary different people for like getting their priority legislation passed. That seems like
it was only a couple of
priorities.
It was only a couple people they were at odds on, and ultimately the priorities were the same that they were trying to get to. And so no, I don't think that's lasting. Okay. But do I think that Abbott's going to call a special session over this? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how strongly he feels about it. I've not heard anything.
Well,
yeah, I doubt that he will. So I don't know. It seems like, so what happens in the process wise is Senate passes their bill, it bans everything. House passes their bill, let's say, that passes everything except for the drinkables. And then they go to what's called a conference committee where they try to hash out the differences, but I don't think they're going to be able to hash out the differences there.
No.
Well, I guess we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, it doesn't make, I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. I think it's kind of silly. I don't think it should be banned. I think alcohol does a lot more damage. Like, if you're going to ban stuff, like, you're picking something that's, kids get fucking wasted on booze all the time. And that's also terrible. Like, it could be the same regulations, right?
Yeah.